Now, there's been a very interesting trending story that's been going on social media. It was about this father who pranked his family. How the prank went about is there was an announcement by his family to the rest of the family that, guess what, I'm dead. Just like that. So now guys are coming to the funeral, arrangements have been done, all of this is going on. And then on the day of the funeral, guys are crying, weeping. Hey, the videos, just tears everywhere. He descends upon all of them in a helicopter. A prank, which he justifies by saying that he felt like he was never involved in family. People were not reaching out to him at all. And there was just a complete, like, there was just the family relationships had completely been distorted. There wasn't really, he didn't feel like the family was interested
felt
in his life.
unappreciated.
Yes, unappreciated, unloved, and unwelcome by most of the family members except his nuclear family. So this prank was to teach them a lesson. And it did work because there was a lot of love being shown. There was lots of hugging. There was lots going on that particular story. But then it brought us to a very important question, a very crucial question, which of course is this. How do you ensure that as you are alive, how do you ensure that when you are still here with us, your family appreciates you and you appreciate them? And there are some 15 tips that we can give you, especially within your small family nuclear, and you can spread this out to your extended family. First things first, as parents and even as individuals, saying the word, I was wrong. I was wrong, you're right, I was wrong, has become such a teething issue. It feels like the moment you say you are wrong, somehow the world will crack up and it will swallow you whole and alive. What's going on? Can you just admit when you are wrong and admit it publicly as well, right? If you are wrong and it was your children who are correcting you about it, just tell them, yeah, but you guys are right, I was wrong. If it's your partner, same thing. If it's your family members, your siblings, same thing. Just say it. I was wrong. I'm sorry. How can I make it up? That's simple.
And smile more. I know it sounds very cliche and it sounds very annoying. Just smile more because no one wants to be around a sour pass. As in, you're always umekunja tu sura, you're always mad about something, you're
Negative
always...
Nancy.
Exactly. Just smile more. It makes other people feel like you're happy to be around them. You know, they can let their guard down, they can feel safe around you. So yeah, smile more.
Also approachability. Another very important one is always, do you know how nice it feels when, like, even with your friends, when they tell you, girl, you look amazing, like Turi's eye makeup today, you know, it looks so beautiful. The orange is working for you. The orange and the green is just, mwah.
Thank
It
you.
works
Thank
so
you.
well. It makes you feel nice. So in the same way, make sure that if it's your partner, if it is your children, if it is your siblings, your family members, when they do something really awesome in front of you, point it out and just go like, wow, that was really awesome. Did you do this? This is really, really cool. This is really, really amazing. Praise them publicly. It really just incites some energy and it pushes in some energy into the space that is really, really cool. Plus, they just feel appreciated.
Yeah, and also try to have as many meals as possible together. I know it's difficult. We can't say every dinner we'll be having together. People have different schedules. People go to sleep at different times, and not everyone is big on dinner. Just make sure in a day, at least one meal, we had it together. We don't want to be strange. And I feel like food brings people together. You know, when you're eating, mmeka pamoja, I don't know, food brings people together in a beautiful way. So try and have as many meals as possible together.
The worst thing you can ever do to anyone is comparing them to someone else. Yeah? You're like, why can't you be like Kamau? Why Kamau? We are so sorry. Why can't you, Joseph, be like Andrew? Look at him. He does well in school. Why can't you be like Andrew? He's gotten a promotion recently. Why can't you be like such and such and such and such? Comparing people to others not only breeds contempt, it also breeds a level of disgruntlement and envy that can be very detrimental to their relationships within the family and outside of it. So try as much as you can, especially for the young ones, try and not compare them to each other or to other people outside of the family. Just compliment them or reprimand them based on their actions to them. I didn't like that you didn't pass your exams. Can you work harder in school? As opposed to, Jane, look at Jane. She got an A. Do you not have the same brain? Are you not in the same class? Is the school fees different for Jane? You know, stuff like that can be very, very negative to someone. It can even inflict traumas upon them. So try and compliment or reprimand people just with their actions as opposed to comparing them to others.
Yeah, and saying I love you more, or start saying I love you. And I know growing up, we never used to say things like that. As in, if I would have randomly just texted my dad, I love you, angeita DCI because who has kidnapped me? Or if my dad like randomly texted me, I love you, that would have been weird. Or just, you know, saying, I never grew up in such an environment. So now with my family, I made sure lazima tuko tunasema hii I love you by force, by fire, by force. So in the morning, if you're leaving the house, you have to reassure us that you love us. As you're going outside, as you're stepping out, you have to tell us you love us. As you're coming in, unasema hello people, I love you. You know, and that has become a culture, and you just hope that over time it won't stop, that people will continue to say I love you. My son is now acting like a teenager, as if he doesn't want to say I love you, so I have to shout it like 3 times before he says it back, but we're working on it, okay? I will not tire. Just tell people you love them as often as you can.
And physical touch is something that we all say is a love language for some people and not for others. But I've noticed that especially within family group settings, yes, with strangers it's different, but within family settings, there is no such thing as just giving someone a hug. Just hugging people. What does it cost you? You have stretched out your hands and you've hugged someone. It makes them feel really complete. And it also breeds that level of physical touch as they grow up. So it just doesn't become this foreign thing that whenever you touch someone, they immediately feel like, hey, OCD, as in your germs. Why? System error. So try and hug people as much as you can, especially people within your family. Even if it's small, small hugs, it doesn't have to be one of those where you hug and you stay there forever. Just do it. And as you're hugging them, throw in an I love you there. What difference does it make to you?
Exactly.
It makes someone's day fully. A love, a kiss on the cheek, just show some love to everyone in your family.
Exactly. And being involved in their lives. You need to stop being that person mwenye unakutana na your nephew unasema haya ulirefuka hivyo ati ulimaliza university, as in you're not involved in their lives. So there's a disconnect, obviously, because if I have invited you for my sports day and you're always saying I am your auntie number 1 but you never show up, if I've invited you for birthdays but you never showed up, if I've invited you for all these things to mark milestones for our families, for careers, for everything, and you never show up and you never want to be there, you never want to be involved, of course we're going to feel some type of way towards you. So even if you feel like it's draining you and it's taking a lot of effort and you have to like drink an energy drink, please, lamba glucose, alafu uende. As in, just try to be more involved in their lives and then they can reciprocate the same thing.
Another very important one is always remember people mirror both negative and positive habits, both virtues and vices. So the more you show positive vices, the better. That was an oxymoron because all
Positive
attributes
vices
are positive. Anyway, all virtues are positive. The more you showcase virtues, the more people mirror them and read them back to you. For example, I kicked you in the leg and then I just tell you, unakuangaje, mbona kitu ndogo kama hiyo inakusumbua. If I say I am sorry and the other person realizes that, oh yeah, so when you kick someone or you hurt someone, you say you're sorry. If you want something, say please. If something good has been done to you, say thank you. The more you say these things, the more they get repeated back to you, especially again with young children. Because there's no way you're going to tell your child, mwambie sorry. And they're looking at you like, why? They're not quite understanding what is going on simply because they've not seen it done by you, right? So try and use the kind words. I'm sorry, thank you, please. You know, stuff like that. The more you do it, the more it becomes best practice and the more it becomes normal and natural, and organically it is done by the people around you. They mirror it and, you know, everyone is kumbaya.
Yeah, and also try to become a better listener. And this can be difficult because sometimes you always want to tell your story, you want to tell your version of events, you want to tell your truth, but you never really want to listen. And especially for parents and their children, because a child will tell you a story, na iko na and then, like 300 times. Hakuna conclusion. His story inaenda inapanda. Now I know George Kamau. Aki, if I'm mentioning your children's name, I am sorry, but I'm always given their stories of how they did this, and you have to listen there because you don't want to create this, you know, thing where I can't come to my parent with any small little thing. You have to listen, and it's difficult. I know. I'm speaking from experience. I know because I don't know anything about cars. My son's interest is cars. He knows gear shifts and toolbox and everything. I know colors. I know cars have colors. That's how I differentiate them. He knows types and everything. So it can be difficult to sit there and listen to something you're completely not interested in. But just try and make the effort.
And even more importantly, as you are making this effort, in what environment are you doing it? Because sometimes when you make it very clear that this is time to talk, it can reduce the burden of having to listen all the time. Okay, that sounded wrong. If you schedule time dates with your kids, you're like Saturday from 10 to 6, you and I are hanging out. They will store all their stories, all the juicy tidbits for Saturday. Saturday anakupatia story after another, after another, after another, after another. This is very, very helpful. The same way you schedule date nights with your partner, schedule dates with the rest of your family, your children, your uncles, aunties, nieces, grandmothers, the same way. I say that as I'm trying to say to myself because, wow, I haven't seen my niece in many months. So, yeah, try and schedule time for your family members as well.
Yeah, and from time to time, surprise them with those small cutesy thing. Like kaka hivyo tumie mtu text mwambie, hi, I was thinking about you, I miss you, I love you. Or if you were packing your child's what do you call it? School lunch or school snacks, you include like a note. I love you. You're the best child out of the 3 I have. Just small things to, you know, keep it spicy, keep it cute.
Yeah, and also very importantly, kindness. Kindness starts from within, and then it is amplified on the outside. If you are kind to yourself, and I think Turi also caught me a while ago telling me that you can be very harsh to yourself, and so it was one of those things that I'm like, okay, yeah, it sounds like I know it sounds self-reflective, but sometimes it can border onto just being vile and unkind to yourself. So